Check 1, 2, checking all the things here, making sure, because I'm setting up a new live stream. So I want to make sure that everything is working well. Going live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and on Instagram now. So thank you, Ecamm, for these updates to make sure that we can stream as many places as possible at the same time. So I am Rich Bracken, and I'm excited to start this new just lighthearted check-in during the day, during the week, as much as possible, around the 11 o'clock hour Central Time, to check in with y'all to make sure that everything is going well in your world. And I'm going to be providing tips, tricks, habits, things that you can build into your day to maximize your productivity, maximize your happiness, your balance, your mindfulness, all of the things. I want to make sure that I'm giving you everything I could possibly give you to make your day as best as it can be. So today I want to just introduce the concept, introduce the idea that I'm going to be sharing these insights with you. Because as 2023 is wrapping up, as this year has unfolded, I have loved the ability to work with so many different organizations, talk to thousands of people around the globe about things like emotional intelligence, mindfulness, resilience, everything from leadership seminars to all company retreats to sales kickoffs, like all the different things. But it all comes down to how we build in the habits, because those are the things that are really, really critical to make sure that we're maximizing our day. Because it's one thing to go talk about motivation and talk about inspiration. And I love that. I love the storytelling and I love the energy of these presentations, but it all comes down to the habits that you build into your day. So this video, this live stream, is an actual tip that I give during my presentations. And what I want you to do is this. I want you to think about your day as it unfolds. You start your day off, everything is going fantastic. Maybe you're like me and you get up and work out and have a cup of coffee and listen to some really good music. My good mood song is Baby I'm a Star by Prince. That puts me in an immediate good mood. But I also love, dubstep and trap and electronic music and house music and heavy metal when I work out. So it's, my energy is like through the roof from the minute the day starts. But as the day unfolds, we all come in contact with text messages, social media, email, work, calendars, meetings, all the different things that we come in contact with. So this midday interruption is actually the habit that I teach people to do for themselves. And so what it is taking time during the day to just check in. Just make sure everything is going the way it should, because we start the day one way, but by the time we get to lunch, the time we get to the mid part of the day, something may have happened. You may have had a meeting that went sideways, or a communication that wasn't ideal, or a last minute project that hit your desk, or it could be good things too. You could have closed a sale or gotten an email back from that prospect you're working on. But it really is important to check in during the middle of the day to figure out where you're at. Because a lot of times we start the day, it unfolds and unfolds and unfolds, and we keep saying, I'll deal with that later. And because we're in back-to-back meetings, we're constantly trying to keep up with the grind of the day. We're trying to do all the things and stay ahead of the curve. And we don't take just a few seconds to say what's gone well and what hasn't gone well. So this midday check-in, 5-10 minutes max. Sit down, uninterrupted, turn off your social, turn off your email, close everything down and just sit for 5 or 10 minutes and think, okay, this is how the day started and this is where I'm at. What's happened in between there? And so when we identify those things, when we stop and pay attention to them, we then understand what has changed the course of our idea or our mentality, what has changed the course of our mood, where are we now and what caused it to get to that place. And once we identify the different triggers, the different conversations, the different instances that we've had during the day that have sent in that direction, we can then pinpoint our response to it from an emotional intelligence standpoint. So I'll give you a perfect example. I previously worked with someone who frankly was not fun to deal with. And we had a standing meeting every week. It was somebody that was very condescending, that was very problematic in my world. And that was on me. But I didn't realize that until I started this habit of stopping during the day and checking in. Because what would happen previously is that I would have my lunch at my desk and start looking at emails and start looking at my calendar for the next 24 hours to prep. And just seeing this person's name and seeing the meeting on the calendar for the next day, was every Thursday, stressed me out. Totally stressed me out, totally put me in this anxious frame of mind. But I would just go on with my day and I wouldn't pay attention to why that was happening. And so once I stopped and took a step back and understood, why am I feeling so stressed out for a day and a half every single week? And so when I started my day and I would figure out what changed during the day and what went sideways, I identified that meeting as the thing that's made me anxious. But what I did was I realized, okay, why? Why is that meeting making me so anxious? Why is that causing me so much stress? And it was because the individual that I was working with in that meeting, I immediately took on the stress of like, oh, he's going to come in with, complaints about this, or he's going to correct this, or he's going to be condescending about this. And I would create these elements that may or may not happen. He might not even show up to the meeting. There were a lot of times I would be stressed out and he wouldn't even be there. So I was spending at least 24 hours stressing out about this meeting. But stopping and taking that time during the lunch hour and saying, okay, what's changing my mood? I understood that he was changing my mood, but I understood it was me changing it because of him. He wasn't making me upset. He wasn't making me stressed. I was choosing to be stressed because of him. But then once I realized that I was doing that to myself, I changed the habit. I changed the behavior. But when we get in that downhill slide of the day and we're constantly trying to chase the next meeting to the next meeting to the next meeting to the next meeting, we don't give ourselves time to understand those. And you grow immensely when you have the ability to stop, recognize your triggers, and deal with them differently. And that's what I want you to do starting today, right now, is I want you to take 5-10 minutes and just sit and think, okay, how has my day started and where am I at now? And then I also want you to do it at the end of the day. I'm not going to pop in twice a day. Maybe I might, you never know. But at least once a day, I'm going to pop in, but twice a day, do this. Do this at the end of the day as well. What am I feeling? How am I doing? Where are my emotions in my mindset? And what has caused it to get to that point? Again, it could be positive or negative. So don't just think this is an exercise of identifying negative behavior or negative reactions. But once we understand what's working well and what's not working, we can course correct. We can figure out what we need to do differently or double down on the behavior that we've been doing or the habits that we've been putting in place. So this midday interruption, this is your new habit. Take 5-10 minutes at lunch, and then again, 5-10 minutes at the end of the day, and understand what has changed your emotion, what has changed your mood. That power that you're going to find in that is immensely valuable and will give you more control over your day every single day when you have that, as opposed to, again, going down the schedule slide of the day, and then you get home, you don't know what happened. And you're trying to pick up the pieces at the end of the day, and we all know that's even more difficult because we're exhausted. So do yourself a favor, that midday interruption, end of day check-in, that will change the game for you. So again, these are intended to be quick pop-ins, maybe 10 minutes. If you know me for half a second, you know that I could talk a lot, so this could go a lot longer. You never know. But it's important to invest in yourself, and that's what this is all about. So take care of yourself, check in, and I'm going to be doing this series more often. If you have a topic you want me to talk about, let me know. See you soon.